Zaffer presents Dark Rooms, written by Lynda La Plante and read by Rachel Atkins. Chapter 1. Detective Inspector Jane Tennison. Jane had repeated it out loud 4 times, looking at herself in the mirror. She couldn't help admiring her reflection, enjoying the reality of her new promotion. It hadn't been easy to get to where she was. She hadn't shared the news with her family yet, deciding that she would go and see them, taking a bottle of celebratory champagne. Her parents had been somewhat confused by the fact Jane had to spend almost a year in uniform as part of the promotion process. Although she'd tried to explain the reasons, her mother seemed to think she'd been demoted, so Jane felt that the less said about it, the better. Due to her work schedule, she had spent very little time at her new home recently. Moving into the 2-bedroom terraced house had been a major step up for her on the property ladder. But the responsibility attached to owning a much larger property was only just beginning to dawn on her. There were a lot of repairs that needed doing, including a persistent electrical fault in the kitchen. She decided that she would make a list of what needed doing. Until she was given the location of the station that she'd be working from, she could spend more time focusing on redecorating and organising her new home. She had already made 2 purchases for the kitchen, a new fridge-freezer and a washing machine. After passing the exams, she had been back on shift work and busy running a uniform team. Now, with her promotion and on a higher wage, she was determined to get all the home improvements necessary. Jane glanced in the bathroom mirror again before leaving for her parents. Good evening. I am Detective Inspector Jane Tennison. She was secretly bursting with pride and was eager to impart the news. Although Jane had a front door key to her parents' flat in Maida Vale, she rarely used it, as she didn't like to invade their privacy. Before tonight, she'd always called her mother to arrange a visit and had never just turned up. She rang the doorbell, and her father pulled open the front door, looking at his daughter with delight. "This is a surprise!" He ushered Jane into the hall. Through the sitting room door, Jane could see her parents' neighbours sitting on the sofa. On the coffee table in front of them was a tray of sherry glasses and neatly cut sandwiches, while the radio had the volume turned up loud. "Guess who's here?" her father called out. Rather embarrassed, Jane held up the bottle of Moet and Chandon. Her mother clapped her hands. "This is wonderful, darling. You know Mr. and Mrs. Murphy from the flat above, and the Silvermans from the basement flat are going to be joining us any minute. Why didn't you call and tell me you're coming over? It's going to be the most fantastic evening." Jane was feeling distinctly nonplussed. She hadn't expected her mother to be hosting a gathering. It was clearly neither the time nor the place to announce her promotion. "Good God!" her father said as he took the bottle out of Jane's hand. "This is very expensive. I'll put it in the fridge." "Actually, Dad, it's really for a celebration." "I quite agree. I've never known your mother so enthusiastic about hosting, but she seems to be enjoying herself. Pam and Tony are coming along with the grandchildren as well. Come into the kitchen." As her mother returned to her guests, Jane followed her father into the kitchen as he put her champagne bottle into the fridge. "Is everything all right, Jane?" he asked. "Yes, everything's fine. I was just stopping by for a few minutes to tell you the good news. I've been promoted. I'm now Detective Inspector. I wanted to tell you both personally." She hesitated, then lied. "But I was actually just on my way to meet a friend for dinner." "Well, that is good news," he said, rather unconvincingly. "I'm waiting to find out which station I'll be working from. I just wanted you and Mum to know, but I won't take up any more of your time." "You sure? You know we have the Silvermans coming up soon. They have a lovely daughter, although I believe their son is in a bit of trouble. Why don't you just stay for a glass of sherry?" "No, Dad. I'll just slip off. I don't want to intrude any further."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?